Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're back. We're back with our Aftershow Season 2 of Subversion Live, and specifically our Mole Watch. It's been crazy. It's been about a year since we've been back. But we're going to get right into it. So if you've not seen the cast reveal, what you're going to do is you're going to pause, and you're going to go watch the cast reveal, because there's no point in you being here until you've watched the cast reveal, because none of this is going to make a lot of sense. So go watch that, and then come back, and now we're going to have some fun and talk about these players. I am joined by three lovely individuals, and bringing in first Subversion Online Season 3 alumni, it's Jabbar.
Hey, it's
Hey.
always a blast spilling the tea and getting a pre-warning, cast. We might get toxic, we might get messy, but it's all in good fun.
It's all in good fun, and it's all based off literally nothing. And it's just gonna be a good time. And Jabbar's our returning person from Mole Watch. The other person is, I guess, busy, and the other one, spoiler, is on the cast. So we have two new individuals joining us for Mole Watch. He is the host of Greenhouse and Dilemma, all on YouTube. Go watch it. Spoiler alert: you might want to definitely be watching season 8. Hint, hint, wink, wink. It's Taylor.
Hi, divas. I'm prepared to win the draft. Or I don't even know if this is a draft. Whatever it is, I'm gonna win. I'm here to win. I'm very competitive. I didn't expect the mole clues to be so heavy-handed this early. I've already found them.
He's already clocked it.
Yeah, I'm ready to clock in and clock these divas. For anyone who's for the players watching, like I was told that this would be a 4-hour recording. So if it is any shorter than that, that means that we have cut toxic, horrible things that we've said about you. So anyway, so just kind of think psychologically what we might have said.
Please. Lord. These people are going to be in their chat freaking out. And if they thought it wasn't going to be toxic, she's come to read. It's the mother from Subversion Live Season 1. She's everyone's winner, just not the official winner. It's Kari.
Hello, friends. I'm also very excited to be toxic. And my pronouns for this episode are clock and it because I already have 5 suspects. Thank you.
I cannot. Alrighty, so how this is going to work. We're going to bring up the PowerPoint. There are 5 slides. On each slide, there are 3 people. We're going to first talk about everyone on the slide. There's no rhyme, reason. You can talk about whatever you want. And at the end, you're going to give your winner pick and your mole pick. But kicking us off on slide number 1, we have, let me find them. We got Ben W., 35, from Columbus, Ohio. We have Nathan, 22, also from Columbus, Ohio. And Kim, 52, from Loganville, Georgia. Thoughts on this slide?
My mother is pictured. Spoilers, it's been what? I'm kidding. Let me consult my notes. I have for Kim, she's a big mole suspect for me just because I know she's capable. I've watched her play twice, I think it was twice. It's early. But she's very capable, and people seem to like her even when she's lying to their face, and that's a really good trait to have.
Instantly, she read as somebody who I would not trust, quite frankly. She also mentions to be a good liar and so on and so forth. And I feel like the players are going to think like me and assume that she is like one of the top tier mole suspect candidates. I don't think that she's the mole, but I think she's going to like slide in that perfect mole decoy position.
She would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
My hands are tied. I have to stand. I think she's fierce. I think that one thing that I clocked is that her pre-game interview was more focused on her as a person instead of how she wants to approach the game. So that read a bit moley to me. I do think that she has the qualities of at least someone who's a mole contender. So like, I don't know. I echo everything I've seen. She's that she plays werewolf a lot, and she does something with a deception convention. I never heard of that before.
She works with Decepticon. It's a social deduction convention in Atlanta I think it's in like February.
Yeah.
And it's predominantly werewolf, but they do all kinds.
Gotcha. I follow. Either way, it's an interesting credential. So yeah, no, I think I think she's a mole candidate for me.
I like
Also, she's player
interesting
number
credential.
7. And something about the number 7. I don't know. I don't trust it.
We are in Vegas, lucky number 7.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The clue, or is it too obvious? Who's to say? But again, last year Butler was like, "There's no way the mole would be the last person on the cast reveal. It's too obvious," and it was the mole in the last spot. So maybe the most obvious thing is just the answer.
Notes I have on Ben. I also put mole suspect because he's capable. I know that he's played in the past. And I think he said in his interview that he also hosts, which is always a plus for me. He was one of the only people to say that he planned to play as a team player, which is suspicious. Everyone else was like, I'm playing for myself. I'm selfish. I'm going to be selfish, which is what a mole would say. So being that he's capable and he said, I'm going to be a team player, it's a little bit suspect to me.
So yeah, I made it to like the final 2 of like a Ord mini mole with Ben, where like I beat him like in the final quiz by 5 seconds or so. But like he figured out who the mole was before me. And like, you know, he cut me a deal to like make people sus of somebody else, and he and I are in the final 2. So I do believe that like when he says he's going to be a team player, he does seem like that type that's like, you know, us against everybody else. And like he also said he's going to focus on challenge prowess, which is also another thing that's not that, like a lot of people kind of want to come in and sabotage, and like he is giving very outlier from everybody else's answers, to Kari's point. Is it a little bit too on the nose that like he would be the mole because of that? I haven't decided on how I feel about that, but I've noticed that as well, Kari.
Yeah, I have experience with Ben. He's played a bunch of these fucking games. So like I think that he definitely has the experience necessary to be the mole. I do not think he is the mole. Just in my experience seeing Ben, I think that he does consistently play a hero type of role. I think he is very like team oriented or whatever. And I do know that he cares a lot about challenges. So everything I'm hearing is stuff I have already heard from Ben before. So I'm not noticing anything like odd. One thing, just to like nitpick his ass, I think that it was kind of crazy how much he talked about lie detection, and he was like, even though I'm a lie detector, I'm not the mole or whatever. Like, I don't think the mole necessarily like cares if anyone's lying to them. So like, anyway, so not to just like
Ben the town hero of the season.
I think it's possible for sure. But yeah, he's just all over the place. I think he would be a strong mole pick. I don't think he is.
He would be a good decoy, and that's important to have. So
yeah,
the jury's out.
Yeah, I think he's going to be polarizing, to be honest, with a whole bunch of people who want to throw. Now, Nathan, I've actually seen him in action in other mole games, so I'm quite a fan of him. Quite frankly, he is a super fan. He's exceptional at lying. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I get the vibe that he almost gives me the vibe that he thinks he's better at lying than he is. But he is very selfish, trouble. Yeah, all of that stuff is true. So I think that he's going to be very fun to watch. I think Nathan and Ben, to me, both of them seem like they would enjoy figuring out who the mole is more than actually being the mole. I don't think, like, to me, Nathan is somebody who can be here for a while, but I don't think that he'll be the mole.
I agree. He was a suspect based on vibes, but just a little bit. I think he's going to be an excellent decoy. I think he's going to end up executing a lot of people because they're going to think that it's him. Yeah, I also love that he said, I lie for fun. That was great.
Yeah, I do think that as as a producer, let me put my producer hat on, is that this is someone who I would want on the show as like a strong competitor. As far as just like watching the game get played well. I didn't really have that much of a read on him. Like I just felt kind of neuch, like no shade. But I don't know. I feel like he's like one of a handful of people. Like, so to kind of define the words that I'm using. First, one of the things that I love about gay people specifically is that I feel like there's a joy in their eyes. And then specifically in the LRG world, I think you can tell whenever someone has game face, like they have just a real focus in their eyes in a way that whenever I'm playing, I just really don't trust certain people immediately. And he has that. Yeah. So anyway, sorry about my over defining, but he just has a very intense energy that I know I would be wary of in the game. And but anyway, I think he'll be a strong player. I would not select him as the mole.
I think he's gonna go far.
So do we think the mole was potentially on this slide? Yes, no, maybe
No.
so, no.
I have one of these people on my suspect list. I'll say yeah.
Kim's
I'm gonna
the
have
most
one person on every
Yeah.
slide.
Kim's the most likely for me too out of these three.
Yeah. I love this slide just because these are all mole players.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like,
They are players.
Yeah, Kim, I know, played Michigan Mole. I'm not sure she's played anything else live. Nathan's played Mole Ohio twice.
Yeah.
Where he was absolutely diabolical in both of his seasons. And then Ben helped host Mole Ohio. I think he played the first season.
Victory House.
He played Victory House. He hosted his own eons ago, and back when he was in college. So all of these people have significant experience playing the mole.
Capabilities.
Yeah, capability is this slide, and definitely mole or not, these are three players I would be scared to walk into the house and see.
Yeah. For sure. This screams winner candidate on this slide. More than it screams mole candidate.
They're giving final day for sure.
Yeah.
All right, you heard. So if y'all don't make it to the final day, just let y'all know that y'all disappointed the panelists.
They've already disappointed me.
They disappointed themselves if they don't make it to. They're the super fans.
Look, sorry, I've already blocked them all. So
you only get unblocked, you make it to the final day. We'll head on to slide 2. Let's see who's here. We have Sarah, 28, from San Diego, California. We have Matt, 40 years old, from Los Angeles, California. And Ethan, 25, from Boston, Massachusetts. Thoughts on slide number 2?
Yeah, let's get into some things.
Ooh, okay. Let's get into it.
So I want to start with Matt, quite frankly, because out of everybody who said that they love to lie, they're selfish, they're master manipulator, a lot of people said that, but out of all of them, I genuinely believe him the most. He screams that, with all the love in the world, he screams that type of person in like a game context. And I just
said I'm going to hold your hand when I say.
Yeah, take my hand, Matt. It's you, and I believe you. Yeah, so he could be the mole, quite frankly, and I think he would be really good at it. And he works in TV, like he designs games and so on and so forth for different shows. I believe him when he says that he's good at reading people and so on and so forth. I think he has the capabilities to do it.
For sure. I mean, like, as far as I understand, everyone submitted like a pitch on why they should be the mole, and I could write it for him. I mean, look, I'm a challenge designer. I'm going to be better at identifying the best places that I could be put in as the mole to have like the most effective sabotage that goes undetected. And plus, he's also just like a straight up cool get, like production hat on. Like, I would want him on the show the entire season, so I would be interested in making him the mole. And also, His mic did cut off before he said he wasn't the mole. Just saying.
I noticed that.
Mhm.
And no shade if that was an advertent, like, but I'm just like overanalyzing everything.
I have no idea.
And no, this is the person I would pick, but I'm also I'm not very mole well versed, so like I think he might be too on the nose of a pick. But anyway.
The only thing I wrote down for Matt in my notes was, please God, not another Matt Mole, please, I beg. Because
Please.
statistically, if your name is Matt, you might be a mole. And I do agree that his intro was giving suspect. I, in my spirit, cannot suspect him. Like from it might be PTSD, but I just can't suspect him as the mole. I think he wants us to think that he's the mole.
Yeah.
But I want to know if he told the rest of the cast what his occupation is, because they will suspect him if they know that's what he does, and if he doesn't tell them, maybe.
Like, he to me screams maybe not the mole, but this is who production should be rigging for to keep on the show a little bit longer than they probably deserve. Like, kind of like what should have happened with Brett. Like, we needed more. So like, he definitely screams like he's gonna be a star villain for as long as he's on the show.
Yeah.
Let me quiz Kari if she remembers her best friend from season 1. How old was Matt Shed on season 1?
I'm gonna say he doesn't look his age, but I would guess 41.
So season 1 spoilers. This is where you pause, skip forward 20 seconds. Matt Shed, the mole of season 1, was 40 years old on season 1. So this will definitely be a topic that gets brought up, that we have another Matt who is 40 years old. And
You can't do this to me again.
Mhm. But if he, I mean, you all probably make them be honest about their age, because it's a question.
He was honest about this.
I was gonna say he could pass for like a 33 or 34.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Both of them easily could pass.
Yeah.
The skincare game is strong, yeah.
yeah.
But it's definitely something
say,
to talk about.
He's posing down in all of his pictures. I think more than any of the other divas.
Yeah.
So just a quick shout out.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch him play though. And then we have Sarah here, and she said she was a new person to the mole. She had just recently started watching, and I find her so suspicious. Like, she said, I'm a new player. Like, I haven't really watched it. I don't believe you, and I couldn't tell you why, but I just don't.
Go ahead, Taylor.
Sure. The first thing that I wrote down is that she was the fiercest at pressing the button on the elevator. No, the hair was right. Like, I think she must have a shark or something. Like, it was very voluminous, and she just pressed it like with such a certainty that I didn't see in the other girls.
Mole suspect based off button pushing. You heard it here first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there just was no insecurity there, so that's someone who knows they're going to stick around. Great. This is Sarah, right? Yeah. Great prop work with the brush. I love a resourceful diva. She said she would be under the radar. I think she would be a solid pick, but again, like, I'm taking all these people at face value when they say how much experience they have in this. I think that more than likely, like, I would want to pick someone who's like experienced and like has more of a like certainty in how to play the mole as the mole. So just personally speaking, like I would be hesitant to select a newbie in this realm as the mole. So that's why I'm going to say it's not her. Though I do think she would be a strong candidate, all things equal.
And I'm going to piggyback off of you, because I don't necessarily think you need to be a mole fan to like be the mole, but I do think that you need to be a good liar. And so something that she pointed out, which similar to Kari, there's some things she said, I don't know if I believe her. She notes that she thinks she's a good liar, but her friends tell her no. To me, that screamed not true. Like, I did not believe her when she said that. But also, I'm biased because I'm pretty sure I know her from some live game, which she didn't mention. But like, does this Sarah, has she played a college survivor before?
She is a college survivor player.
Okay, that's where, and like, I think she got fourth place. Okay, I'm not gonna fangirl out too much, but I think I know who she is. Yeah, she's dangerous. I think that she lied about one or two things in her opening, and I think that she actually could be. I'm pretty suspicious of her, to be honest.
Okay, those are things I did not know.
Go watch Survivor Michigan, and you can go find her season somewhere.
Mhm.
Sorry, I don't watch College Survivor, so sorry to the College Survivor fans out there. Ryan Lilly, so sorry. I know he's an avid fan. All I know is she was on Survivor Michigan. That's all I know.
Now, this is gonna sound random, but if I'm talking about the player numbers, they all got off on P2. It's the second season. Ethan, I think, is player number 2, if I'm not mistaken.
He is player number 2.
Yes, I noticed that.
Interesting.
And quite
And
frankly,
it was very visible and clear. Like you could
It
see
was.
those
It
numbers.
was.
and I'm like, okay, I am suspicious of you. I think that he has a certain amount of charm to him. He's right. He is going to keep people guessing. He is the right level of sus. I think that he's going to be a very mysterious character, but I am suspicious of him.
I wrote down. I lost it. Wait, who are we talking about?
Ethan, love.
Girl.
Ethan, thank you.
have a
Where's
drink.
my notes? Oh, he said he had no mole history, only playing Subversion season 4. And I don't know if you can tell us, but he said he had a friend that played season 1.
He did. Lauren Murphy is.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
That makes him more suspicious.
But
I think
Ethan
he would be a
himself
good
didn't
mole.
play season 4, though, Kari.
Yeah, he did not.
Oh, maybe I wrote down wrong.
No, you're thinking of
Okay, so
you're
he's
thinking
just
of Ben.
watched Subversion.
Correct. Yeah, he only watched. He was in the VL for 4, and then watched live 1. But yeah, he is also, much like Sarah, pretty relatively new. He's more newer than Sarah is to the format.
I feel like he's somebody I'm like kind of like Sarah, that they're new to the format, but I think if they signed up and agreed to do something like this, they are going to do their homework.
Yeah.
So he may be a very capable mole. I think he would be a good mole based on his interview and the way that he was talking, because he didn't really seem like he was lying, but he also didn't really give full truth. And he was one of the many, many people who said he would play a selfish game. And I'm worried that so many people wanting to play a selfish game is going to devolve into arguments, because if you're all sabotaging, no one's winning money. So I'm hoping that maybe he'll pick up on that and change his tune. If he does, he'll be more suspicious to me, because that's what a mole would do.
Yeah, he was earlier in the video, so I guess just as I was getting my notes groove or whatever, I just didn't have as much about this person. Software engineer, I have that I wrote down twice that he was wearing orange fiercely. He's newbie. He said he would be selfish. I said that he gives younger brother energy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's the person, which I think is a good like type of personality or just like vibe for a mole to have. I do think that though now I'm falling into just what I my how I would be if I was ever on the mole. I would be like, oh, they're so and so, but isn't that something the mole would do? But anyway, let's see, Ethan. I don't know. I think he's the strongest case for someone who's not experienced in this type of thing to be the mole. I mean, look at the pose he chose. I think he's very willing to kind of just like do oh goodness, oh shucks, like my
Okay,
bad.
I'm a new player and don't know what's going on. Yeah.
I've never done this before. So like, yeah, so like I could see it. like I would love to know if they knew whether or not they were the mole when taking these pictures.
Oh, they did.
They did.
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
I don't think one you would ever get me to make this pose for a camera. But two, just because like I'm not looking clueless, but I think that it's a little bit caricature-y. Like, come on.
I agree. I agree. And now he's my number one mole suspect on this slide, at least.
Ooh.
Because of that.
No, and
Do
like
we have 3 different mole suspects on this slide? I think all of us are on a different person on this slide.
I would choose middle person. I already forgot his name. Matt.
And I would pick Sarah.
But I'm kind of on Jabbar. Like I did notice everyone was on floor 2. Like player 2 was, I thought, the only one that they like showed on camera. Like
it really did. It was clear.
I got to see like 7 or 8 of them, but player 2 was definitely one of the clearest ones for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Love this slide as well. These are people coming in I thought would be mysterious. I thought these people would have people guessing. Like Ethan is a very shy kid. So like that initial day, people were kind of like, he is like just kind of standing in social circles, but not adding a ton. Like, is he just listening, taking it all in? Is he just shy? Like, what's the deal? Sarah's just naturally suspicious, which if she's not the mole, brilliant for her. If she is the mole, big uphill battle. But I think Matt's the same way. Also, naturally, very, very suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them have that aura that just kind of brings attention to themselves. So
yeah, if one of these people are not the mole and like they figure out who the mole is, they need to attach themselves to that person and have so many people like go out thinking wrong.
Wrong. Yeah, really fun slide. So I'm excited to see what I know what they do, but what y'all see that they do in this season. As we move on to slide 3, our wild card slide. This is a very interesting slide of people who all kind of have different experiences coming in. So we're looking at we're looking at Nikki, 33, from Amsterdam, Netherlands. We have Madeline, 21, from College Park, Maryland, and Ty, 37, Chicago, Illinois.
The power of Christ is going to get us through this slide. We're going to need it. First of all, Miss Nikki, coming all the way from the Netherlands to play. I played the online season with Nikki, and she said that she's unpredictable. I didn't get that vibe from her when I played with her. I think that she was pretty straightforward. She said that she's not a good liar. She's right. She would prefer to like not talk to you than lie to you. It's just a preference thing. She said that she's going to play selfish. Again, I don't believe her, quite frankly. Just because when I played with her, we shared a crap ton of information. And then proceeded to share it with everybody else in the game. So like maybe because she's coming from the Netherlands to play in person, and like this probably means a lot to her, maybe she's gonna kind of change it up this time. But she's very intuitive. Like if she's not the mole, which I don't think she is, I think that she's gonna have good reads and good senses on who it could be.
Yeah, I think she brought up how much enthusiasm she would have, which is fierce. I don't know. I just wrote that down. No real like extrapolations from that. But yeah, from the Netherlands, that's like where the mole is biggest. I think it's just kind of cool to have representation from there. Just in general, like what a great get. She said she's not a great liar, which like kind of always will disqualify someone from being the mole, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I think she's fierce. Yeah, I just that she's clearly a big fan of the show, clearly very enthusiastic to be here, someone I'll be rooting for. I don't have much else to say outside of that.
Well, Julie, I just wrote Mother. Um, I remember her playing Subversion online, and I watched that one, and she was really good. And I suspect her because Dutch Mole was just so superior to US Mole, like the people play. And I'm happy that she came to play this because I want to play a Dutch Mole live game eventually. So if she can call me, that would be great. Thank you. But I think that she would be a good mole. Like you can say all day, I'm not good at lying, I'm not good at lying. To be the mole, yes, you have to lie, but I think that you can get away with it if you're a bad liar because you can just talk around lying to people at times. So I think she has the capabilities.
So I just realized that I played a game with all of these people on this slide. Actually, Madeline, I played a traders game with, and she was a trader. And she was really good until she kind of got caught like buddying and maybe over exerting herself. Um, and so I think if she is the mole, she's going to be the type that's like co-signing other people or like steering the pot, which is kind of funny because she does note that she is like a chaotic person. She's considered sneaky and chaotic. She's not a liar, but she is another person who's good at lying by omission. That's a thing. And I think she's a college survivor player slash host as well. So I do think that she has that gear within her to be able to kind of understand and interpret people's motives.
Okay. Then again, some of my understandings of a player were incorrect. I mean, because I just kind of really latched onto what I understood her to be saying. This was her first LRG experience, but I think she may have just meant this was her first like live mole experience. Either way, it doesn't matter. She has much more experience than I realized. So my whole thing, like in writing stuff about her, was like it would be intense for her first LRG to be the mole, but not
Mine
like
was.
oh really hilarious. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do think that like she has a very like bubbly personality. I think she's super approachable. I think she's suspiciously non-suspicious. So I think like she's a great cast for a mole game just in general. I don't know, like I get the whole lie by omission, but I think people who like focus too much on what type of lie you're telling, you're not gonna get me on board that you're a strong liar. Like, sorry, I think that people who are like, I did not lie, I said XYZ, like you need to like, sorry, that's like one of my just pet peeves. Like, just as a host and like running these types of games, like people who just like know that they did something to try to mislead someone and then trying to like qualify exactly what type of lie. And like she wasn't even talking about this, it just like had that response.
Just own it.
But yeah, I think people too focused on like types of lying or like people who are too academic about it. I think aren't into the art of lying.
That's the episode title. I just remember when she said, "I'm not a good liar. I'm a good not truth teller."
Yeah,
and that's a good spin. Like I will keep my eye on you.
So the Michigan people you're no longer love anymore. I now have to give the love to Survivor Maryland. She is, I think, currently, she is the host, or she's one of the main hosts.
Yeah, she's lead production somewhere in there.
So guess what?
I think being a Survivor fan can come in handy in something like this, because if you can make alliances and get information from people, you have so much power in a mole game. So I think she's going to be in a good spot really early.
Okay, she's a much stronger candidate for the mole than I originally thought.
Yeah. Now,
sorry, I just didn't know.
Yeah. Now, Ty.
Wow.
Ty is a psychopath. Truly crazy. And definitely, if he's the mole, he's gonna probably be like, not to spoil, but you're 20 years late. Like my favorite U.S. mole, Miss Angie Everhart, just super chaotic, like sabotage in your face, and just like really have you on edge so much that people won't believe it. Like I think if this is a volatile or like a season where like people are happy to pick fights, Ty is gonna be one of the people who are not going to be afraid to like throw the first stone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I played a Survivor game with Ty before. We were just like never on the same team at any point, so like we had no reason to ever really align, and we would just kind of like have the same fake conversation every round. So, like, as someone who he has lied to, even though it was a situation that was pretty like transparently not real ever. I didn't think he was a very strong liar. Like I feel like he's the type of person that at least I can potentially read. Though I'm saying all this, he did outlast me. Though I also did whip the votes against him. Whatever, no shade. But yeah, I don't know. I do see the case for him just being like kind of a more like just in your face obvious mole. Just because like I don't know, my experience with him is that he's like outwardly mysterious. Just like very clearly like holding things closer to his chest, but like doing so in like an outward way. Like I'm not being very eloquent, but he's fierce. I'm a big fan. I'm happy to see him. I would cast him in a second. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I said nothing.
I have only played Squid Game with Ty, which means nothing because there's like 200 people. I think that he would be such good TV in general, especially as a mole, because he would be the kind of player that would be so suspicious and so obviously the mole that no one wants to throw their game away quizzing on him.
Right.
And he would use that to his advantage. I'm not suspecting him in this. I think that in a series like The Mole, when you're watching it on TV, like the Angie Everhart Mole, you can pull that off because you have a longer time to play. In a span like the time frame of a live game, playing that bold of a mole game is so dangerous because if you mess up one time and someone goes all in on you on round 2, then like you didn't ruin it for the cast or the production, but it dampens it a little bit. So I'm not sure, as someone who's produced a mole game, I don't know that I would pick someone who intended to play the mole that way. I would love to be gagged.
Yeah, and I do think if he is the mole, or if he's called sabotaging, he's not. He's gonna be the one that's like, yeah, so what? Like
He
what
will
about
dare
it?
people.
Like he's not gonna
He
make
will
up an
dare people to go in on
excuse.
him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's why I mean
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited to watch.
I'm also a big Angie. I mean, she's my favorite mole of the U.S. series by leaps, bounds, miles, kilometers, etc. Because I love a bold mole who's willing to like call people's bluffs, and it can work or it can absolutely backfire. That's why I love a bold move. And I'll tell you, minutes into this game, Ty Howell has the girlies pressed. So, I mean, is anyone shocked? Is anyone surprised?
That's not even a spoiler, babe.
Yeah, trust me, by minute 10 of episode 1, people are annoyed. So I'm ready. But I love this slide as well. I mean, I love all of them. It's just a very fun group. I mean, Nikki, huge Mole super fan, coming off of Subversion season 3 online, where she was best friends with the Mole, wanting to like refix her path and hopefully not fall into the same trap if she's not the Mole. Really exciting from a perspective, just watching her. And then Madeline and Ty are pretty new to the format. Madeline, like, pretty much like brand new. She'd like just finished watching Netflix season 1 when she interviewed. Like she was like brand new. And then Ty, who's decently well versed in the show, just hasn't done a mole format game, but he obviously plays a lot of these social strategy games, and he has good reads. Anyone who watched Subversion Traders, he was the first banished, came into the dead chat, and he said, "These 6 people, these are traitors," and all 4 of the traitors were in his 6. So he's got good reads. He doesn't need
does.
them. He's them all. We don't need them.
Yeah,
So
I want to see him stick around because I know he's going to be good TV.
me too. Yeah.
oh, so good. Let's move to slide 4. We talk about Ty being a psychopath. The slide 4 are the psychopaths.
Oh, girl.
We
Let me get my
have
read.
Let me get out my
glasses.
notes.
Mark 36 from Montreal, Quebec. We have, where is she? Shilpa 28 from Los Angeles, California. And I know some people here on the stream are very familiar with Carson 25, Edina, Minnesota. Thoughts on this psychopathic slide?
Girl. My number one mole candidate is on this slide. I'll just say that for now. But to get into Shilpa, did I say her name right?
Yeah, Shilpa.
Shilpa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The minute she said that she was a teacher, I wrote, I don't trust her. As a teacher myself, I get it. But she did win an online version of the mole. And I do think with her specific job, like I think she's gonna be able to connect with a lot of people. I think that she said that she pays great attention to detail, and I believe her. If the mole is gonna make a slip up, a tiny error somewhere, I think she could be the person to catch them if she is not the mole. Something about her, I think she gives me Heather from the Mole US season 2, where like just the way she presents herself, I think it's gonna come off as suspicious to people. Quite frankly, I don't know if she is the mole or not, but I think she's gonna be very interesting for people to gauge.
I'm gonna try not to be emotional.
Mother.
She has changed my life forever. I just truly standing ovation from me. Just a true character actress from start to finish. I have written down fiercest person of all time. Someone pressed the elevator button for her. She didn't have to press the button.
Suspicious. Write that down.
Honestly, I don't hate the over the top outfit. I think that's like I think like if like she's the mole, like I could see that being like like I can now that I know that it's like a pitch to be the mole, I can see her pitch being like something with like this Goody Proctor outfit. Fiercest thing I've ever seen in my life. She said that she's a pathological liar. I think that I would personally have her on my list of people to pick as the mole. She's a quiz master, a past producer, so like she's gonna be a contender no matter what. But like I would trust her with the season, like if I was a producer. Though also I would want her to like compete and win. So, but I think that this cast has a like large heap of people who are going to play the mole just very well. I mean, this is clearly just a bunch of super fans. But I don't know. I just the way that the music was swelling throughout her entire interview, like I got a little misty. I'll be honest. But no, she's my favorite person of all time. Please add me on Instagram, Taylor M. Luke. If you ever want to come down to Austin, Texas, or Lafayette, Louisiana, you are a lock for Greenhouse 9, 10, 20, and 50. So just hit me up anytime.
I also just wrote Mother. Her saying, I don't know how to read is one of many Roman empires. She's so funny. I love people who are just stupid in camp because I'm one of them. She said that she's friends with Craig, and I played with Craig, and he hosted a college mole, and it's fantastic. There's 2 seasons. If you have not watched it, I recommend so hard. She helped him produce that, and that makes her so suspicious to me. I wrote, I hope she's the mole so bad, because I think that she would do well, and it's so dressing like she did and acting like she did in her interview. And you know, when she walked in the house, she was just she had the
Yeah.
people confused. That's such a good strategy if you're the mole, because who's gonna want to go all in on you round one because you dress like the lady that killed Goody Proctor? Like,
Yeah, jeez.
so I'm excited to watch her play.
And she actually did one of the mole watches from last season too,
Yeah,
right?
she was on an after show like halfway through.
Okay.
Yeah, she is good friend. Yeah, she good friends with Craig. And spoiler alert, she is in this Goody Proctor Amish old timey village woman garb the entire season.
Yes.
I was assuming just for a day. Oh my god.
No,
I was assuming it was for the cast photos in the reveal.
so the cast got it on Thursday night, and they did the hotel shots of the elevator, all that. That was Thursday in the garb. The meet me was Friday morning in the garb, and she's in the garb the whole season. And she commits to the bit. There are times and challenges where she's like, "I'm Amish. I don't know what this means. Technology."
Oh my god.
Oh, it's a bit. Oh, she playing games.
It's so
no,
good.
sorry. That is so, just that's
so
what I
funny.
think. This is what I think all LRGs should be. Like, I think just it should always be tongue in cheek. It should always be like we're like doing this right now. Like, isn't it kind of funny that this is happening? Like it should
play
be
hard, but don't
camp,
take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, she just gets it.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm so excited.
That's
mother icon.
Now, the last time somebody pointed at me the way Carson pointing at me right now, they were the mole. I'm just saying. I am just saying. So I don't know if that's the residential mole pose or what's going on. But yeah, let's get into Carson because that's a good friend of mine. And mostly everything he said was true. He's a gaslighter. He's correct. He's very personable. Correct. He weaponizes information. Also correct. Danger. I mean, yeah, like he's self-aware. I think the only thing that I struggle with is I don't think he's that selfish in a game format. Now he will lie and deceive everybody, with the exception of maybe like his one or two people, but like he will. I'm not gonna say throw the game, but like he'll give it all to like almost like Liv, where he once he finds his people, like he'll exchange everything. He'll probably tell them who the mole is. I think if I know him. As long as they're close enough to him. But outside of that, he's gonna lie, he's gonna deceive. And honestly, in a format like this where he can't get voted out, I can see him picking fights as well. Like he, to me, is like the person who I can see Ty getting into fights with, honestly. And I do think he's charming enough to be the mole, to be honest.
Sure. I think that he's another person with game eyes, who I just like would be on high alert immediately. I think that, yeah, I mean, he does have a very strong personality, and I'm sure he's very personable in person. But to give a note, I did feel like he felt a little bit rehearsed in his interview. No shade. You're clearly a very cool, accomplished person. He works on an escape room or runs an escape room. Either way, I think that kind of shows, again, with the game eyes, like this is the type of thing that you're locked into. Med students, shout out to med students. My twin is a doctor. My mom is a doctor. Like, I have nothing but respect for medical professionals. And yeah, I don't know. I think that his interview was heavy strategy talk about like how he would approach and play the game. And just personally, I think that the mole's interview would just be more personality based. I think to have all these different like specific strategies on your mind at this point, I think that he is a player. I think that he is playing the game. I do not think he is the mole.
I loved that he called himself an all-around gaslighter, and his interview was suspicious, but I agree that he talked a lot about how he would play. I think that he's going to go pretty far because he seems incredibly, incredibly capable.
Yeah.
If he's overly cooperative with people and kind of gives up advantages for himself, not necessarily like tangible ones, I will be very suspicious of him because that seems out of character for him and very in character for a mole if the mole was Carson. He is on my list of people to watch and take notes on.
I will say he also said he was like a child model, singer, actor, star. So I don't know.
Wow.
I can see him being performative or like knowing how to turn it on and off when need to, if he wants them all.
I will say that makes me more suspicious of him because you have a history in modeling and this is the pose you choose.
Well, he was a child model, I think.
But no, is this the pose that Matt did last season, or were you referencing a different?
Yeah,
I
he had,
think
like,
so. Yeah, he was
Matt
doing like
was,
like kind of like pointy thing.
yeah, it's not a full 1-to-1, but he was definitely pointing at the camera, smiling.
Because I was just curious.
Write
Mhm.
that
There are
down.
clues everywhere.
Now, I mean Mark. Yeah, Mark to me read the most like the mole. Just I don't know, gut instinct. Watching his video, he said he's naturally sus. He said he likes to lie. He lies just for the fun of it, but he's honest about it. I don't know how I don't know how I feel about that second part. I think that the second part is what makes me really sus of him, the being honest about lying for fun. He, yeah, I think that he's gonna have the capability to pull off being the mole and being unsuspected. It's a gut read, and also super meta. I'm way more sus of the men this season than I am of the women overall, and Mark is just at the top of the sus.
Yeah, I had a similar read. I just think that he has a very, at least, outward-facing devious personality. I think that like his literal entire package was about how much of a liar he is. Art teacher. I was really trying to pay attention to what colors people were wearing. It was like it. I don't think it's anything. Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't have much to take away other than him talking about how much of a liar he is and how chaotic he is, which is great. I'm excited for you to show instead of tell. You seem fierce. Like I would latch on to you if I was in a game. Like you seem like the fun kind of game eyes. You know what I mean? Someone who I want to like collaborate and key with. But I don't know. I think I would pick this person as the mole. I don't have any special reads in any direction.
I wrote down not a suspect for me, but a great decoy.
Mhm.
I like that he said I lie for fun, and then he's honest about it, because if you are playing the game like the mole and you come out of the gate lying to people as a joke, when you lie to them for real, they're not going to pick up on it as easily. So I can see why he would be a good mole suspect or mole candidate. I don't know. There's just maybe because I'm also somebody who's just inherently suspicious to people, it would be very brave to be the mole if you tend to get like if people automatically see you as suspicious, it would be difficult to be the mole unless you open with the fact that you're a pathological liar and all of these things. So I think he's going to be a good decoy. I think a lot of people are going to suspect him.
I will say his picture doesn't necessarily scream mole to me
I
unless
love it,
production
though.
had just told him that he was the mole in that moment.
Mail a
And then
mole
he was
joke to
gagging.
him. He
Yeah.
might have my favorite picture of everybody's. I love
That's so
it.
funny. Yeah. I love these group of people. But yeah, absolute psychopaths in their own right. Shilpa committing to the bit is just psychopathic and just hysterical. And
Love
Carson
it.
and Mark, people who know Carson and Mark, they are pathological liars, and
I love it.
should avoid should avoid in any game context. Sorry, I'm ruining both of y'all's any future games you play. Y'all are both pathological. Very excited to see, because again, different mole experience. Like Shilpa's mole experience is definitely more like lived than watched. Mark has watched a lot. He's also an international viewer, and then Carson's also relatively new. His fiance is why he got into the program. His fiance is actually a pretty big fan, so he's relatively new to the format. But a very exciting slide as we move into our final slide, and these are three of the most social players we have on the cast, which being social is a huge dangerous tool if you're them all. Being able
Did
to
you organize these slides based on type of player they are, or
Lee did it. I didn't do shit.
interesting?
I'm lazy. I don't do shit.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Production. Oh, yeah.
We have Tay Slay, 34, Los Angeles, California. We have Sam, 27, also from Columbus, Ohio. And wrapping up the cast, Ben C., 25, Boston, Massachusetts.
The Subversion restaurant is open because these people served.
Sure.
Yeah, let's just get Satan's lover out the way. Like, let's
okay.
go ahead and do it, Sam. Out of all of the, I'm highly suspicious of her. I'll just get it out the way.
Yes.
She's not a mole fan. She said that she's willing to yell at somebody with a few hour, another volatile player. She's not a team player. If you watch wrestling, she just gives me Bianca Belair. Is that the wrestler's name? The EST, strongest, fastest. Oh, no wrestlers fans here, but like she just gives that vibe of like I'm better than you, and like I'm gonna let you know. But like
She is,
when I
though.
look at her, she just has such a mysterious look in her eyes as well. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm highly suspicious of her. She's another person who can pull off being a very upfront, in your face mole.
I wrote down that it felt like she was trying to talk us out of suspecting her in her interview. Like everything she was giving was like, oh, you might be the mole, but then she was sort of backtracking. She feels very calculated. She's also high on my mole suspect list, and I think that she would kill it. And she's so funny. So I'm excited to watch her.
Yeah, I feel like if I saw only the cast pictures and knew nothing about these divas, I would pick her to be the mole. I don't know. It's just like an aura thing. Like I can't really fully explain it. She just has kind of that X factor. But yeah, no, I think that I think that what you said really kind of matches like a disconnect I was having with the interview, is that it did feel like she was kind of talking us out of it, and like I hadn't like connected those dots in my head because like she said, I'm a polarizing person. She's self-labeled as sus, not big into the mole, but did well online, and she was another omission by lying diva, but whatever. I think that I ultimately would not pick her if I were to put my producer hat on. But I do see the case for her. Though also I think that just her polarizingness, that she's self-labeled, I think is a good reason to just like kind of have her as a decoy person. You know, like she's the type of person that I'm casting to like help make things a bit easier for my actual mole. You know what I mean? And I think that's where I land. I think I'm ultimately not suspicious of her.
And I think for Tay, the first thing I wrote was I missed the number on her envelope because she was serving those shoes so hard.
I think she's 3.
She's 3.
She would be such a fun mole. And like I suspect her mainly for that. But I don't think that she is the mole because she was really excited about winning the Apple Watch. And I hope she wins it, girl. I hope you win too.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, sure. I think that she was the one who pulled me in the most. She was the one that I would want to like befriend the fastest, as far as like the theme for this slide or whatever of these social players. She would absolutely trick me if she was the mole. I think that she... I'm going to lock in that she is the person that I would pick if I was the executive producer of Subversion Live 2024. I don't know. I just think that she's very personable. I think that like just as far as like the meta of it all, like I think that she's clearly someone who you would want to cast and have here, just like has this fun personality who's like making it fun for everybody. I did think that the hearts were a bit on the nose of just like, oh, I'm so friendly, I'm so innocent, like whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like for like the first like half of this, I was over analyzing everyone's like outfit choices. But no, she's fierce. I'm obsessed with her.
She could execute me and I would say thank you.
Oh.
So I wouldn't mind her being the mole.
Yeah, so she's cool. I would personally select her. I'm not sure if I think that it is her. But again, that's why I think she's so strong, because she would trick me.
Yeah, Tay's also another good friend of mine. Very charming. Also a part of a rap group. Tay's a rapper. So I just think that Tay has the charisma to pull people in. Now, I think Tay might have said that they like lying. From my experience with Tay, I don't think that Tay enjoys lying that much personally. So I don't know if she was trying to ham it up for the cameras or whatever the case may be. But she is right about saying people find her sus. Like I played a Mafia game with her. She had good reads and stuff, but like Town did not believe her. Like she just, I think something about her personality, honestly, the way you all were talking about her too, like it's almost like it's too good to be true in a way. Well, like that's actually how she is. And people people just have it in their minds that they won't trust her because of that. Tay could definitely be the mole. Not my top suspect, but I don't know. This photo, Taylor, you the picture, like the outfit,
It's so good.
I can believe it. Yeah, because the mole, I do believe they were intentional about the outfit that they chose.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be her.
Well,
Go string glitter money with 3
Absolutely.
Ys.
I need to.
That is her rap group. I recommend Dangerous. It's the best song.
So Ben, Ben wants to focus on challenge prowess. He's a team player normally, but he's gonna be selfish here. He claims he's a good liar. Again, I don't know if I believe that. Now, almost like Tay, but something in his eyes. I can see him being the mole. He almost genuinely seems too good to be true in a way. Like it's interesting to contrast him with Tay. Because a lot of his answers did scream team player, but I'll be individualistic if I have to. And I don't know.
Yeah, he was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th person in the video.
Yes.
So this was still when I was on Fit Watch, and he was the first one in red. So I was like, I've got him.
I want Fit Watch for every episode, by the way.
But then right after Tay came in also red. So like I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop. So anyway, so because I thought that I got him, I like did right. But anyway, I have him as he has the face and body language of someone who just like gets it. Like he's the third person in my game eyes group. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the 3 of them, especially because like they have a similar like smarminess or whatever that you can kind of get lost of which one of them is exactly the mole. So I do like I think it would be a strong choice. But yeah, that was the main thing. I just have him in this like cluster of like game eyes people.
I wrote that he was a little cutie because he is, and I love his little eyebrows.
Mm-hmm. He was jawlining out.
His interview to me, the body language in it, like it was rehearsed, but he wasn't blinking when he was talking. And so to me, that's kind of, you're focusing a lot on what you're saying and how you're saying it, and the tone of what you're saying, enough that it's kind of throwing off your body language, which is very suspicious. Very, very suspicious. He is one of the only men on this cast that I am a heavy suspect on. I think playing Subversion online is a totally different beast than playing in person. I don't know if he's played a game in person or not, but I don't know. There's just something about him. It's in the eyes.
He's played Survivor,
Yeah.
And to your point though, Kari, like even in this photo, the body language screams,
I planned this.
I need to like try. Maybe he's just an overthinker or an overanalyzer, but like this pose that he came up with screams, I want to try and blend in. Like, I don't know.
The face touching for the mole picture, very default. I don't know what to do, so I'm going to do,
yeah.
A very, very fun group. Ben, online player, much like Nikki, trying to rewrite history if they're not the mole. He's also Lauren Murphy's boyfriend, so has someone who at least can like prepare him for a mole live game, because he has not played a mole live game, but at least has Lauren from season 1 who can kind of give insight as to her experience. And then Sam, not a ton of mole experience, not really a huge super fan, so excited to see her come out. And then Tay, who was on Mole Watch last year, who said to the moon she'd never play a game like this. And so when her app came in, it was like, oh,
she lied.
You're a liar. But a very, very fun group. But that is our cast. You've met all 15 of the cast members, and now it's your time to tell us who's the winner and who's the mole. We'll start with winner because that one's not as juicy. No offense.
The winner is the viewers, because they're getting the show.
For sure. I think the winner is going to be the only person on the cast who's not the mole, because after talking through this, I think everyone is the mole.
It's a Truman show.
Very. If I had to pick someone that I think will make it to the finale and probably have the capabilities to win, I'm going Ben Wood.
Ben Wood. Solid pick.
Lord.
We
can only pick one, right? Because I
really one. So you up with the capability slide, which I think is a solid pick.
You know what? I'm gonna go out of the box, I think, and I am going to pick Mark. No, I lied.
Oh, liar!
I'm a liar. What is his name? Matt. I'm gonna pick Matt as a winner potential.
I'm fierce. I'm going through my notes frantically. Let me see. I'm going to go with. Can I see the first slide again?
Of course. Let me find it. First slide. Ben W, Nathan, and Kim.
Okay. Can I see the second slide?
Girl.
Matt.
I love the color matching on this one.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
You know what? I'm going to give it to Sarah.
Sarah, a mysterious player. I love it.
That's a good pick.
I do. I think that I've learned more about her playing capabilities than I realized before in this podcast. I think that she just has the star power. I don't think that she would be selected as the mole, but I think people will be suspicious of her.
That's how I feel about Matt. Like, if he's not the mole, I think people will get eliminated thinking he is.
Now it's time when everyone's dying to know who is the mole of Subversion Live Season 2.
Prayer circle.
I have 5 suspects. They're all women.
Ooh, okay.
Deal with it. But top suspect for me, the second she walked into the screen, was Sam. I can't get over it.
Yeah. She's top 3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even tell you what exactly it is. But like, she was on screen, I was like, mole.
I'm torn between Ben, Ethan, and Mark, to be honest.
Ooh. Which Ben?
Oh, last slide, Ben.
Centrac, yeah.
Ben
Okay,
C.
Ben C.
Yeah. You can go ahead, Taylor.
Right.
Is that Ethan?
I'm gonna pick Ethan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
That's yeah.
And yes, and does this go against kind of the entire logic I was giving throughout the entire thing that I think it would be someone with more experience? Yeah, it does. And you can fucking deal with it. Floor 2, player 2, slide 2.
Clock it.
Yeah,
I was gonna pick him, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna change
Carl,
it
who
up.
do you think is the mole?
It's crazy. I wonder who I think the mole is.
when I'm on Subversion 2031 and I'm posing like this, you can know,
You know
that
it's me.
Yeah, I'm glad Taylor did that. So because Ethan was one of the two I was struggling with, but I think I'm gonna go with Mark for all of the reasons mentioned.
All very good picks. I will say,
like to
because you
change my
asked who
mind
I
next
thought
week.
the mole would be, I'm on the mole team, but Danny DeAngelis and Murphy Dowd, along with Foster, are also on the mole team. But really, Danny and Murphy ended up picking the mole, and who they ended up selecting was not who I thought would have been selected coming in to the process. So who I thought the mole was going to be is not who the mole ended up being. But I'm so happy with the mole that ended up getting selected, and they did a fabulous job. And we'll kick it all off on April 17th with the first episode, and then 9 episodes later, you'll finally learn the true identity of the mole. Shall be very exciting. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this 4.5 hour long podcast about these people?
I know it's getting dark outside. Shilpa High Rise.
Lord.
Add
We
me to the
need-
fan club immediately. I need to start
We
making
need
memes.
fights. We need drama. We only got one good, nasty, juicy fight last season. Maybe 2. We're ready to rev it up for season 2.
Yeah. There are definitely some
I'm
fights.
happy to watch and not be in the season. Thank you.
Same. Yeah. This seems like a very volatile cast for sure.
I feel like I would have more meltdowns than I did in season 1 with this cast. So thank you.
Super, super fun cast. Can't wait to show it to y'all starting April 17th at 9 p.m. Eastern, episode 1. So be there. We'll be back every week after show. I think we'll air it on Monday to recap the episode, but stay with us. Also, go to plug everyone else's stuff. Go watch Greenhouse in Dilemma.
Yeah.
I think season 7 just wrapped up or is about to wrap up for Greenhouse.
Season 7 just wrapped up. Season 8 is going to be a summer release. And Dilemma Corruption is going to be a fall-winter release.
There you go. There's always editing. If you
I'm always editing. I know, that's why I'm so behind on so many other LRGs, but I'm committing right now on camera to watching this season. I just think that the
For real.
I think that the the preview looks so cool. Like, it looks like y'all have some cool shit and props and production value, which I famously have multiple like challenges where only toilet paper is like what we bring to the table production wise. I'm excited for an education.
In your defense, your seasons are like, you got like 3 days to get through a fuck ton of people.
Yeah.
So like, come on now, you have to like get through. You gotta get through
Thank you. I am not the focus.
you don't get to be on here and shit your own show. Don't you dare. You don't get to do that. Not on this program. But for Jabbar, for Taylor, for Kari, thank you so much for being here. This has been an absolute pleasure to start my 8 a.m. morning with on the Pacific
Bless
West
your life.
Coast.
And here we are at 8 p.m.
And here we are now. Oh my lord!
You're
it's 7
welcome.
p.m. The basketball game's about to start, but we're gonna sign on off. We'll be back. I'm not sure when this is airing, but April 17th, we'll be there. Bye, everyone.
Good afternoon, stars.
Good afternoon, stars.